Malaysia passes a controversial anti-terror law, reintroducing a law repealed in 2012. China commissions aircraft carrier killing submarines, and one American goes for a joyride in Thailand. These stories are coming up next. This is the Asia Brief. A very good Wednesday morning to you. It is Hump Day, and my name is Steve Miller. I hope you're having a fantastic day. It's a pleasure to have you here with me today on this April 8th, 2015. Let's go ahead and get started with our very first story. Once upon a time, you could be detained indefinitely in Malaysia. That law was repealed in 2012, but now that law is back on the books. Phil Robertson, Deputy Director of Human Rights Watch's Asia Division, said, "The passage of this law is a giant step backwards for human rights in Malaysia that fundamentally calls into question the government's commitment to basic rights that are critical to the rule of law in a functioning democracy. By stripping accused persons of the right to trial in a court, access to legal counsel, and other legal protections if they are accused under the very broad provisions of this law, the government is continuing its slide into rights-abusing rule. By restoring indefinite detention without trial, Malaysia has reopened Pandora's box for politically motivated, abusive state actions that many had thought was closed when the Abusive Internal Security Act was revoked in 2012. Passage of this legislation raises serious concerns that Malaysia will return to practices of the past when government agents frequently used fear of indefinite detention to intimidate and silence outspoken critics. Home Minister Zahid Hamidi said those being detained were planning on attacking police stations and army bases. The youngest detained without trial is only 14 years old. Then Prime Minister Najib repealed the Internal Security Act, allowing such indefinite detentions in 2012, amid concerns it was being used to stifle debate and arrest critical opponents. Recently, there has been an uptick on the application of the nation's sedition laws, and I'll have more on that on Friday's Asia News Weekly. China looks to be commissioning 3 new attack submarines that could pose a serious threat to nations wishing to curtail Beijing's advance in the South China Sea. The nuclear-powered submarines appear to be upgraded Type 93 Shan-class submarines. The vessels will be equipped with a new vertical launching system capable of firing supersonic anti-ship missiles specifically designed to thwart the U.S.'s Aegis combat system. The subs will also have improved speed, reduced noise, and an increased operational range. The United States is developing countermeasures, not only for these new types of submarines, but also for the missiles, which are specifically designed to kill aircraft carriers. The addition of these new vessels is surely to raise tension in the region. A 29-year-old American went through a joyride akin to Grand Theft Auto through Pattaya in Thailand after a hit-and-run accident. Police actually had to shoot at her tires in order to get her to stop. She then locked herself inside the vehicle, forcing police to extract her. The total damage of the rampage included hitting 13 vehicles and clipping at least 1 motorcycle. 2 people were reportedly injured. Now, according to reports, after being hauled away by the police, the only repercussions of her rampage was a stiff traffic fine and being ordered to pay for all damages. The young woman says that she panicked after the accident, but at some point you have to realize you're only making a bad situation worse. Well, that's it for today's stories. I hope you'll take a moment to share your thoughts in the comments on Facebook or Twitter. To keep up with more news from the region, please follow Asia News Weekly on Facebook or Twitter. You can also send an email to the show with your comments, your questions, and most importantly, your feedback. That email address is podcast@asianewsweekly.net. If you enjoyed today's program, please share it with your friends, and if you haven't, subscribe. It's absolutely free and easy to do. You can do that on our website, asianewsweekly.net, or in your favorite podcast application. Well, my friends, that is it for me today. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Steve Miller, reminding you to be true to yourself and to always be awesome.